Good morning, guys. Eric and I woke up to a bunch of snow today, so I wanted to walk you around and show you what it looks like. This was a storm that came over the period of 2 days, and I think we got close to 2 feet. And I'm gonna go check on the chickens and see if there's any eggs. Eric already came out here this morning to give the chickens food and water. Hey, girls. Okay, we're gonna get out of here. Clearly I'm bothering them. So thankfully the chickens have this whole area underneath the coop and that lean-to to hang out in. Otherwise, they wouldn't really have that much of an area to hang out this winter. We're gonna make a pit stop by the garden. This is the garden area and we haven't removed any snow in here this season. I've just been doing the high tunnel and getting around it so it doesn't collapse and put too much weight on it. This is a 4-foot fence and I think it's under there somewhere. So needless to say, we're gonna have to wait till it melts a little bit until we can start gardening. I went ahead and grabbed a measuring tape this morning so we can measure the amount of snow we got. We already removed about 6 inches or so the other day. We wanted to get a jump on the storm and we've got quite a bit more now. So let's see what we have gotten since then. So just at 18 inches or so, and we have removed about 6. And I'm gonna walk over to the trailer, which is where we haven't removed any snow at all this whole storm. That's the bog behind me. And that's a big wall that Eric has been pushing a lot of our snow out to. Okay, and that's just at 22 inches. So I guess that's how much we got this whole storm, which seems like a lot because it's coming up close to my knees when I'm walking around out here. We're gonna have to get all this removed and we will pick back up with you guys once we get that done. It's probably gonna take us a few hours.
Okay, yesterday we got all of our snow removal done. We got it all cleared out of the way. And today we have to take the weekly trip of going to pick up our milk before we come back. And we got a few more things to take care of around here. right, we made it back to the cabin with our milk, and before we get started on our projects outside today, we're gonna run inside real quick. We wanna get dinner started. It's gonna take a while to cook on the wood stove, and we're also gonna grab something to eat for lunch. So we're out here on our wood pile, and I'm just bringing over some wood and stocking up the deck. And then we take it from the deck inside the house to run our wood stove. And the beginning of this year, we started with around 4 cords of wood, and we're down to about 2 cords of wood. And it is early March. January, we blew through the wood. We had that wood stove cranking nonstop 24/7. We had temperatures as low as almost -30. So January was a big month going through a lot of our wood. Like I said, we have about 2 cords left, so we should do just fine this year. But if you come over to the other side of the wood pile, you can really see how much snow we've gotten this year. The snow on the other side is all the way up above this wood pile. This is the back of the wood pile. And as you can tell, this is like one of the deepest spots that we have. When Ariel would clear off the top of the wood pile, get all the snow off of it, she would throw it back here. So this is gonna take a while to melt, but all of our wood is accessible this year. And also another thing we did this year is we have our wood up on pallets. Last year we didn't, and it was kind of hard to get to the bottom layers. They got frozen into the dirt.
Walks into it though. I don't know. She's always done that. I wanted to show you guys how the garden looks after we got some of the snow out of here yesterday. I think we have like 4 feet of snow in here, and we have this little trench cleared, or pathway cleared next to the high tunnel like I mentioned yesterday. And today Eric and I have to get over to where the bees are and plow a little path out there, or dig a little path out there. So we're gonna head over that way and do that.
So I don't know if you guys can tell from the camera angle, but we have a ton of snow right here, and this is all from us plowing with our Polaris. This is where we push it all. We had another huge storm just before this one, so this piled up really fast for us over these past few weeks. Anyways, last year, our path to get out to the bees was right through here. As you can tell, all the snow we've been getting, we needed somewhere to plow all our snow, so we're gonna have to cut another path through here. So we got our shovel, and we're gonna see if we can make it out to the bees.
Ish.
Man, deep.
Well, I haven't been out here in like since February, right? Well, pretty much we got this spring stuff for that. How you doing? You doing okay?
No?
Well, because I went back. I think we really need to pack it in if we want to be able to get out here.
Yeah, I know.
Because,
Just gotta keep walking on it.
yeah, just keep walking on it, that's all. You're right.
That's where they are.
Found the pallet. Okay, I fell off the pallet. Some of this will melt though by another month.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so we got these 2 hives dug out. Just a real quick recap. We had 3 hives at the beginning of the year, but we were down to 2 when winter came along. And unfortunately, neither of them did make it. We had a really hard month in January, and they both were really strong going into winter. We left them all their honey, and they were alive at the end of January, but that's when we noticed a decline in their numbers. This hive was the first one that I noticed wasn't buzzing as loudly, and when we checked it, we found out they weren't alive anymore. And about a week later in February, or early February, we found out this hive also didn't make it, unfortunately. Everything's frozen, so it's still too early for me to really get in there and investigate what happened. But I think it was either moisture or possibly starvation. Again, I'm just gonna have to look in there when we get, some warmer temperatures and I can see what actually happened. They can overwinter here in Alaska. People successfully do it. They do it in these hives too. So we just need to figure out how to do it. It's definitely a more challenging climate and it's harder for these bees. So we're asking a lot from them. With that being said, we ordered 3 new hives this year. We have the equipment for 3 hives, so we have already done that investment. Of course, we want the bees to live, but like I said again, that's a learning curve. And we also have a bunch more resources for these new bees coming in because these old bees have left, honey, they've left comb, and they've also left pollen. So again, they have that to pull from, and that should give these new bees a jump start. And we'll also be getting them earlier, which is why Eric and I are out here doing all this. So I know it's not a happy ending, but we are going to try it again and see if we can make it work and just keep doing more and more research on our end to help these guys survive. We're gonna go ahead and walk our path a few more times so we can pack it down for when we come back out here. And normally I would have had that path, already walked, but once the bees died, we really hadn't come back out here. And that's when we got all the snow. Come on, dude.